The school resource officer program has evolved so much in Colorado over the last 30 years, and actually we've had to. I mean, we live in a much more complex society than we did 30 years ago. School resource officers are dealing with child custody issues, they're dealing with restraining order issues, they're dealing with problems related to poverty, they're dealing with psychology issues, sociology issues, all of the issues that we see as problems in our schools, whether it's drugs or gangs. And I think that the goal has always been to form as close a bond with the school district and with the administration within the school that the SROs are at, in order to facilitate solving problems. And in fact, are trying to empower them with the ability to have a grant writer for those smaller communities that they can call up the center and say, hey, we've never written a grant, a federal grant for funding, but we have a school resource officer program that we would like to implement. Can you give us some help? And whether it is through sort of a boilerplate type of here's how you fill out the forms, or actually doing the forms with them providing the information on behalf of that district, that opens up a huge door for those smaller communities to actually have the funding, to have a school resource officer in their community. And a lot of these communities, or a lot of these schools, sometimes are 30, 40 minutes away from the nearest law enforcement facility or the nearest law enforcement officer. You get out on the Eastern Plains or out on the Western Slope, you have some schools that it's 30-minute drive. The overall goal and objective of a school resource officer program is the health and safety of our kids. But it goes much further than that. It is much broader. School resource officers add to the quality of the education of our kids. As a school resource officer, I taught law-related education at the high school level. I taught drug abuse resistance education at the elementary school level. And in middle school, I taught a number of different classes. The requirements for a school resource officer are as broad as the staff that staffs, whether it's elementary, middle, or high school, in the fact that they are dealing with social issues, they're dealing with health issues, they're dealing with safety issues. And for the school resource officer, it goes maybe even beyond that, in the fact